Let's start the last project of the HTML module, which is a New York City blog. New York City blog. After reaching New York City, you decide to create a blog for your viewers who want to know more about the city. It's time to create a blog to show off how amazing the Big Apple is. You got this. Don't forget to save your code after each step by pressing the Save button. To run your code, you'll see the changes made in the browser. Note: while you're developing the web page, you will notice that the elements are automatically assigned colors, borders, and positioned properly. This is because of the CSS file. Don't worry about CSS right now. It's only there so the web page looks nice. Navigation bar. A common use of a navigation bar is to create shortcuts for a web page. This will allow the user to go directly to the information they want to access through the navigation links. Create a nav element underneath the opening body tag. So we're going to create nav. Let's check the hint. The nav tag would go inside the body element like so. 2. Within the nav element, create a UL element to create an unordered list. The unordered list should contain the following 3 items: blog, media, and about. Use the li element with a anchor href nested within the li element to link the content to the nav bar. You may notice that the nav bar doesn't work right now, but don't worry. Once the content is added, the nav bar will be fully functional. So we're going to create a UL within the nav, and we're going to create li elements for 3 items: sure, blog, media, and about. Let's save. Let's check the hint and use the li element with the anchor href nested within the li element. The nav bar doesn't work right now, and we're going to add the anchor href. They just want us to create an empty anchor element, so I'm just going to copy this: blog, media, and about. Okay, next, let's save. Blog content. You need to title your blog so people know what you're writing about. Create a header element under the closing nav tag. Within the header element, create an h1 element which should contain the following: New York City. Okay, so we're going to create under this, should be nested in the nav tag. Okay, so underneath the nav tag, we're going to create a header under the closing nav tag. Within the header element, we're going to create a h1, and we're going to write New York City inside. Number 4, create a main element below the closing header tag. Within the main element, create a section element with an ID of blog. So first we're going to create main element, and inside I'm going to create section. Inside section, I'm going to create ID with blog in it. This section element will hold the main content of your web page. You're giving this element an ID so that you can target it with the nav bar. Number 5, create an article element within the section element, then create a p element within the article that has the following. So create an article element within the section element and create a p element within the article element, and the p element should contain the following. Let's save. Okay, so we have here blog, media, and about. New York Cities are H1 and a paragraph. 6. Now that our blog has some content, the next step is adding media to enhance our blog. You can do this by using the figure element. Under the closing section tag, create a figure element. To create figure element, create an image tag within figure and use the following link as the source. Inside figure, we're going to create image, and the source is this link. Image is a self-closing tag, so we can just leave it like that. Number 8, let's describe the image for those who don't know what statue is. Using fig caption, Add this description of the image. This is the Statue of Liberty, a popular tourist attraction located on Liberty Island. Save your work and see your progress. So underneath image, we're going to create fig caption, and we're going to write this text and save our progress. Everything seems to be working. Aside content. For a blog post, you need to add additional content to enhance the post. You can do this by using the aside element. Under the closing figure tag, create an aside element. Within aside, create a P element containing the following information. New York City is very popular, blah, blah, blah. So this is just extra information. Under the closing figure tag, we're going to create a side element, and within a side we're going to add P element. And I'm just going to copy and paste. And there it is. New York City is very popular for the variety of great food it has. Some of the top food items in New York City include: Number 10, New York is known for its amazing food. Our blog should list some of the top food options in New York City. You can do this by creating an order list. Create an order list by using the OL element within the aside element. In an order list, the first item is ranked 1, the second item is ranked 2, and so on. The order list should contain the following 7 items in this order. So within the aside, we're going to create order list with 7 list elements: pizza, bagels, burgers and sandwiches, ramen, tacos, pasta, and desserts. And there it is. Number 11, media. Right now, our blog post consists of only one image. Adding more media can help give a better visual representation of New York. Let's create a section for the media content. Create a section element with an ID of media under the closing aside tag. Within the new section element, create an article element, then create an H2 element within article that says the scenario in New York City. So it's a section element within an ID of media under the aside element, ID media, under the closing aside tag. Within the new section element, create an article element, then create an H2 element within the article that says scenario in New York City. You're going to add a little description to explain the media. Edit P element directly underneath the closing H2 tag, but within the article element with the following paragraph. Let's save. Number 13, New York City has a beautiful skyline, so let's show that with a video. Under the closing article tag, create a video element with the attribute controls. Use the following URL as the source. Number 14, during the nighttime, the New York City skyline can light up the whole sky. This time, you're going to use an embed to display an image of the skyline. Create an embed element under the closing video tag. Use the following URL as a source. So underneath the video tag, create embed tag. Embed is a self-closing tag. And we're going to add source. And I'm just going to copy this link. Let's save. 15. New York City is known as the city that never sleeps. At any point in the day, you can hear the traffic as you make your way through the city. Let's add an audio clip to show how loud New York City can be. Create an audio tag with the attribute controls directly below embed tag. Don't forget the closing tag. Inside the audio tag, insert an audio file with the following URL as source. There are 2 different ways you can write this. I chose the first one, but you can also write audio controls and then source tag src and then the link. 16, footer. At the bottom of the page, you can add a footer to credit you for the creation of this blog. Create a footer element with an ID of about under the closing tag main. ID of about under the closing main tag. Inside add the following content. P tag with hosted by followed by your name. P tag that provides one type of contact information for people to reach you at, for example. The end game. Congratulations, you successfully created a web page using only semantic elements. Now that you learned about the importance of semantic elements, HTML, along with its benefits, it's time to incorporate this knowledge into your future projects. Think about ways you could improve this project or create your very own project using semantic elements. Need some suggestions? Check the hint for some ideas to get started. You can create a virtual resume, and here they're just giving more ideas you can do. This is the final New York City blog project.